One of the most fun parts about this whole adventure are all the towns that we found ourselves in, like Indianola, Mississippi. We found everything we needed: an RV park, grocery store, laundromat, even a fun restaurant for lunch one day. Indianola is also the birthplace of B.B. King, and all through the downtown area, several businesses have guitars decorated out front to celebrate the life of B.B. King.
Welcome to Soar America. The Soar America team includes Eric, our pilot, who is going to attempt to fly his glider from coast to coast in a series of connected flights and only be the second person to achieve this goal. Join us as we soar, camp, and drive across America.
Indianola traffic, glider picture departing runway 18, Indianola. I've been in the air just over an hour, and I just first made it to 2,000 feet above the ground. It's been super tough. The sky looks beautiful. A lot of nice looking clouds, but I've sampled I don't know how many, a dozen of them, and the lift under them is weak. This is the best one yet by far. 2.5 to 3 knot average so far in this one. all the others were like half a knot to a knot, which I was low and just hanging on to them for dear life just to stay up. But pretty sure cloud base isn't more than 3,000 feet above the ground, but how would I know? I haven't been that high. Hoping to go east. With cloud base this low, I've looked at the route and I'm going to have to go north for a good bit first, because due east there's nowhere safe to land for like 35 miles, and with this little altitude to work with, I can't safely make that jump. I really don't want to have to land in a field. You never know what's down there. Hate to damage the glider. That could bring an end to a really fun adventure. So we'll see if I get high enough to break away to the next airport to the north, which is much closer. I don't remember how far, 15-20 miles. That's more doable, maybe even only from 3,000 feet above the ground. We'll see. But man, I've had to work. I've used up a lot of my battery turning the motor on and off to help me troll around and find a decent thermal. I'm down at about 50% of battery. It's far lower than I usually am after launching and finding a thermal. So tough conditions. I'm gonna have to work for this one. I've been in the air an hour and a half. It's 13 miles or so to my first airport away from Indianola, and I've just messaged Julie and Diane that I'm gone. So hit the road when ready is what that means. I'm making what has now been my highest climb of the day to a whopping 2,900 feet above the ground. But I think cloud base is slowly rising, so it should get a little easier. Hey, any change of scenery, you know, moving us from sleeping in one town to another makes things more interesting, even if I can't fly very far. So I'm pleased enough with this. I just wouldn't try to fly cross country on a day like this normally. It's very hard. You need airports close to each other, or you need to be willing to land in a field that you've never surveyed before, and could be trouble. So I'll talk to you in a bit. Hopefully I will be near the Ruleville Drew Airport next time I talk to you. Well, I haven't talked to you in a while. I'm past Ruleville. I now have Charleston, Mississippi easily within reach. I had two routes planned. Charleston was the more northerly route, and that was the route I needed to take if I couldn't get higher than about 2,500 feet above the ground. And in the beginning, I wasn't able to get higher than that, so I headed out on that route. But now I'm getting to about 3,500 above the ground. So I'm making a big detour to the right, which puts me on an east-southeast or southeast heading, which is good. That's the closest heading to the Atlantic Ocean anyway. So I'm trying to get back on the more direct route to the Atlantic Ocean. And we'll see what I can do. It's looking pretty good. It's still not much altitude to work with, but it looks safe enough. I don't see any large areas of cloud or high cirrus shading things out. I think I've only seen one really tall cell so far. So here it is at 10 after 3 in the afternoon. The day looks pretty benign, so it may let me fly a good long time without overdeveloping. Of course, things can change quickly, so I may eat those words. We'll just have to see. Well, I've let myself get low here, about 2,000 feet off the ground, near Grenada, I'm not sure how they pronounce it. Nice looking airport, but it's too early to land. It's 3:45. I'd like to be in the air another couple of hours. But I've just had a bad run of luck on clouds. Maybe this one, I think it's a developing cloud. Maybe this one will get me back up and on my way. I was closer to landing pattern entry height then to cloud base. I don't like that. We'll see what happens. Well, it's been a struggle at times due to the limited height. I think the highest I've been is about 3,500 feet above the ground. But it's a beautiful looking sky. Nice clouds. Not all of them work, of course, they never do. But if every, third one or so has a decent thermal, that seems to be enough. I've had to make some detours to stay near safe landing places. But I am now, let's see, I declared a 105-mile task. I'm a little more than 35 miles out, so I guess I've made close to 70 miles. Very slowly though. I've been in the air 3 hours and 40 minutes. So really slow progress, having to zigzag so much to stay within reach of airports. It is 4:35-ish. Should have another good hour maybe of soaring conditions. Hopefully I'll make it to the goal for the task I declared, which is very near the Mississippi State University. So there's a shout out to all our Mississippi State friends. Hopefully I can make it. Put Mississippi State in the record books in a strange way. I'll talk to you in a little bit. When I fly into a cloud and look up and see birds circling, they are usually very good at finding the best lift under a cloud. No guarantee it's still good down here. They're probably close to 1,000 feet above me, but I let them guide me to the lift. Landing here at Ackerman is pretty much inevitable now. I'm at about pattern entry height, 1,000 feet above the ground. I've been at 1,400 to maybe 2,000 above the ground for probably half an hour, just scratching around in the weakest little bits of lift, watching all the clouds dry up. And I was so close to making it to Starkville. I only needed 1,000 or 1,500 feet. Never could find it. Oh well. All good things must come to an end. Ackerman traffic glider, Quebec Victor, left downwind for 19 Ackerman. Ackerman traffic glider, Quebec Victor, final for 19 Ackerman.
So we found Eric, but he's behind a fence.
It finally happened.
We just talked about this.
Right.
I think because we just talked about it, maybe we got jinxed.
Yeah. Well, he's called about 4 people, including the police department. Somebody's got to have access to a public airport, so.
Okay.
But we're trying to break the code now. Or find a manual override.
We just don't want to end up breaking any laws here. Imprisonment for 20 years.